Are we live? Merry Christmas, everybody, if you can hear me. Surprise, Alyssa's behind the camera. You got me. But we still got one looker in the frame. We got Miss Josie up here. We brought our two speckled ones up to spend Christmas with you. So hop on and let us know if you can hear us and see us and all that good stuff. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you have any snow, we got snow here like 3 days ago, but then yesterday and today it's like in the 40s and it rained and it's kind of a mess. So we have remnants of snow, but mostly just mud. So today, come with your questions because I'm not as good of a talker as Alyssa is. So come with questions and drop them in there. Otherwise, you're just gonna watch me groom Josie and Taz. Merry Christmas. All right, babe, read me some comments. Where are people watching from and stuff?
One says, well, Tim Humphrey, Fairview, Oregon.
Hey, Tim.
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Probably even warmer back there.
Someone asked, can you tell us how old each one of your equines are?
Oh gosh, this is a big quiz for me. Alyssa knows really well. So you tell me if I'm wrong, Alyssa.
Start from youngest to oldest.
Youngest to oldest. Mesa, I know that one. She's gonna turn 2 this next year. Then we have Rooster, who's gonna be turning 4. And he's tied with Josie, right?
Yeah, Josie's a little younger, but yeah.
Yeah, pretty much tied. So Josie's also turning 4. Then we have Taz, who is turning 7.
He'll be turning 8.
Taz is turning 8. Clyde's turning 9. And Riata's turning 10. How'd I do?
Pretty close.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, so we got kind of a wide range of them. We started with young green stuff, and we still have up and comers, but it's so nice because Clyde and Riata are getting solid, and we're about ready to do some fun stuff. Taz is getting close to being ready for the mountains, and we might be doing some fun pack trips and overnight trips, fishing in the high country lakes and stuff like that. So while you guys are asking questions, I'm just gonna groom these guys because they're an absolute disaster. We let them, so our setup right now, we have Taz and Josie in our back pasture, and then we have the rest of the crew in the dry lot in the front of the pasture. So these two have the back to themselves, and we opened it up to the round pen, and they love rolling in the sand. So they're absolute disasters.
Someone says, does Mesa have reddish highlights in her mane? Look like it from her saddling video.
She kind of does. She has like a frosted tips a little bit. They kind of turn blonde and bleach out a little bit.
It's her baby hair still.
Yeah, she's got curly little mane hairs. But we don't really know what color she's going to end up being. She really lightens up in the winter, and then she basically looks like a bay in the summertime when she's all shed out. Does that feel good, Joes? So if you guys are really nice to Alyssa in the comments, maybe she'll trade me, and maybe she'll come on camera. But you have to all tell her Merry Christmas and be really sweet to her. And first off, Merry Christmas to you guys. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Maybe with family, maybe not, but regardless, I hope you guys are having an awesome Christmas today. We appreciate you guys watching and tuning in, and you're like kind of part of our little Mountain Built family. We appreciate you a lot.
Someone said they're fascinated by my wooden stirrups.
Oh yeah.
Can you share more info about those?
Yeah.
I mean, wooden stirrups are pretty common. They're not super rare. They're just like a laminated wood, so they're pretty strong. Those ones are bell stirrups, so they're a little bit wider. But do you have anything to add?
Those big bells are kind of like a buckaroo style of stirrup, and they're nice because they're comfy to ride in for long amounts of time, and also you're not very likely to get hung up in them. So they're actually kind of nice. Monel, I think they're called.
Sounds right.
I'm pretty sure. It's kind of a traditional look.
Jessie said she saw a post on Facebook saying mud helps insulate their coats and keep them warmer.
I saw that too,
That's
and I was
actually
like,
true.
ours are so set.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, they naturally have an insulation barrier in the winter. Like they have their long coat, then they have a fuzz underneath. So a lot of times you'll see snow just sitting on top of them. That's actually because they're so well insulated that the snow's not even melting. If they get wet, that's when it's kind of compromised. So I don't know. I know the mud helps them against bugs, but I'm not sure about insulation. That seems a little far-fetched to me, but maybe.
Yeah, that post, did you see it, Alyssa?
Uh-uh.
That post said that like that crunchy mud layer on there is kind of like a hard shell jacket. I was like, oh, there might be something to it, but
Maybe.
I think they're naturally just pretty well insulated even without the mud.
So what fun pack trips do you have planned for 2026?
Pack trips?
Yeah.
Oh man, well, we want to do a lot more here in our like local Idaho mountains. We want to take our crew out just for some overnight trips, do some like backcountry fishing trips, take the Roman home actually, because now we have enough animals. We can take the big nice tent and go do some like backcountry fishing around here. But one place I really want to go, I don't know if we'll make it this year, but I really want to go to the Bighorns in Wyoming. That country's kind of calling to us. It looks so cool. We've looked at it on the map. We've driven by it, but we've never spent any time in there. So you got sand in your eye. So the Bighorns is one we'd love to go to, as well as Custer State Park in South Dakota. We've been there before, but it's just so fun and so easy to ride. We'd love to go back with the new crew.
Tim Humphrey says, you guys didn't let Clyde roll in the mud too?
He's rolling in the mud over there.
Yeah, he's in a different pen.
He's
So these two are separated
He's
because
plenty
Taz
muddy.
needed to gain some weight. He's looking way better. He was just a little bit on the thin side. So he's gaining weight, and we figured Josie could use all the calories too, so she's going to hang out with Taz.
Yeah.
These two actually get along pretty well. I know everyone was all distraught that Josie kicked in, but that's just kind of a new thing. New equine. It's just what they do.
We really want little Josie to get some vertical growth. So
Yeah.
far, she's got some good horizontal growth from putting her in on all the feed she can get, but we're just hoping she gets a little bit taller. She's such a cool mule, and she's just chill, and she's good at packing and stuff, but we just want her to get a little bit bigger so that we can ride her, not just pack her.
Someone says they want to know which Mustang I would pick if I could get one. I have
That's
one
a
in
good
mind,
question.
but I can't share it because every time we share one, that facility gets about 20 calls on that particular Mustang. So if I actually share the one I want, there's no chance I'd ever get it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like
We want them to get adopted, but also if we're actually thinking about one, it's kind of, we have to be a little guarded.
Exactly. Yeah, if we have a really good feeling about one that we really sincerely hope to get, if we put it on there, there's a chance that it'll be gone when we go back. The BLM does not hold Mustangs for you. So it's like first come, first serve as it should be, so they can get as many adopted as possible. But I shared my favorite there. And then we went back, and the lady at the front desk is like, what kind of following do you have? We got so many phone calls on old 9191. She was like my favorite there.
What is life expectancy of a mule and a horse? Is there a huge difference? I'd say probably in general about 10 years difference. A mule will outlive a horse. Horses are usually like mid-20s to mid-30s. My mom had an old mule and they just had to put him down and he was 42. So, but I've heard of mules living upwards of 50 years old, which is pretty crazy.
Quite a size difference between little Jose and big old Taz.
Lots of people saying Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you guys for being here on Christmas with us. It was pretty fun.
I hope you feel better, Jessie. She says she's laid in bed watching mule videos all day.
Oh, crud.
I know, she's still sick. I
Dang
feel
it.
bad for you. I'm sorry you're still sick. That's a bummer on Christmas.
Mule videos are a good choice. So if you gotta be sick, at least you're
Yeah.
watching mule videos. Oh, Tazzy, does that feel good, bud? Someone on one of our recent videos said Taz is not a buckskin and he's not an Appaloosa. They said
Yeah.
both of those things.
Yeah, Facebook is not our place.
That was on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. For all of you who use Facebook, you know, I don't want to offend you, but my goodness, as far as the bullying goes, Facebook is apparently the place where all those people hang out. But yeah, they told us that he was a gray, he was not an appy or a buckskin. They said he needed model skin. I think that counts. They said he needed the white sclera around his eye. He definitely has that. They said he needed striped hooves, and well, I think those count as striped. So anyway.
You guys are a lot nicer than a Facebook
Yeah, YouTube
crew.
is our crew. Facebook gets a little crazy sometimes.
It kind of is. We appreciate you guys. We get so many comments that are just positive and encouraging and uplifting. It's awesome.
Well, thank you, Elizabeth Rogers. That's super nice.
What Elizabeth have to say?
She gave us $20.
No way. Thank
It's
you.
a heck of a Christmas present.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to scroll back through and make sure I don't. Someone says Taz looks great.
Yeah,
He's
filling out.
yeah, he's filling out. So we haven't done a whole lot with Taz because he's just been eating all the calories. We wanted him to gain a little weight. We need to make him an appointment to go get his teeth done and his sheath cleaned, and just get some stuff checked out, and then he'll be doing good.
Yep. I'm excited for Taz. He's just a sweet horse. And it's nice to have something big to ride. Especially while I'm waiting for Riata's custom saddle. I'm gonna steal Taz
Yeah.
and use him as my own until we get Riata's saddle that'll fit her a little better.
Someone asked, do mules with white feet need shoes in rocky country, or are their feet tough enough to be barefoot?
Good question.
We have two with white feet. Josie has straight feet, and Clyde has, well, kind of straight feet as well. But we put fronts on Clyde if it's really rocky, because he does get bruised. He doesn't seem to need hinds. For some reason, he doesn't get bruised in his back feet. But
Riata, my mule, she is just kind of like, she's got a little more donkey in her. It's like being 50-50, you get some mules that are more horse-like and some that are more donkey-like. And she's definitely more donkey-like. She is not smooth running or anything, but she is hardy. She has tough little black hooves, just as hard as could be. She's never had shoes on her. At least we haven't had shoes on her. And she's never gotten sore either.
her feet are like hard to trim in the summer. They're so tough. I can barely even trim them.
Good boy, buddy.
I asked about the Mustang, and your answer is good. Yeah, we would love to share. But when it's the right time, we will share which one we love.
Yeah. I got a question for everyone watching. If you could have one of these equines in our pen, not just Taz and Jose, which one would you like to ride? I'm always curious to see that. I think there's more people that want to ride horses than the mules. People are intrigued by the mules, but if they had to choose, it seems like they choose a horse. Oh, buddy, you're pretty popular.
They said, we love your buck and rail fence. Do the rails go closest to the horses or on the outside, and why?
Good
We
question.
put the rails on the outside, but we do have one rail, so actually we have buck and rail right here that we just put up to kind of seam together where the neighbors go. So you can see we have 1, 2 rails. There should be a third rail down here. No horses are ever going to be in here, so this is why this fence is a little different. But there's usually a third rail below. We have those on the outside, and then just one rail here on the inside. There's still that top rail, of course, but that way the horses can eat in between here, and they can eat all that. If those rails were on the inside, they wouldn't be able to eat that. So it just depends on what you want. If you don't want them to be able to eat in your fence, which makes it rubber remain off a little bit, eating through the fence. So that's something to think about too, for sure. Oh, lots of people. I'm getting behind because there's lots of answers to who they would pick.
Oh, who's winning?
It's kind of a mixed bag.
Let's hear it. What do we got?
Well, I've scrolled past it now. I'm trying to get back to my questions. I don't want to miss any.
You guys, if you're watching this, there should be an option, if you're watching this after the fact, to see the live chat, even if you're not
Yes.
watching live. So if you select that, it's kind of fun to see people's comments and what they're talking about in the live.
Did both of you have parents that liked to ride or had horses and mules?
Good question. I'll start. Hello over there. No, my family, like, they love the horses, and they think they're really cool, and they think it's a cool passion, but they're not riders. Dad grew up with horses and rode when he was a kid over in Coos Bay, Oregon, but not since I was born at all. So we want to get Dad a good mule so we could take him in the mountains, just something safe, and he can see some cool country. And my mom, same, she had a horse named Apache when she was a young lady. I don't know if she was probably around 10 or 12, and loved that horse named Apache. But then things just changed. I was born in Seattle. Hard to have equines over there. And so yeah, no horses when I was growing up. What about you, Alyssa?
Well, my mom had horses on and off when she was in
buddy.
her younger 20s. And then she had a mare, but she sold her right before I was born because she didn't want to get hurt when she was pregnant. And then we didn't have horses growing up. I really wanted a horse, and they got me a super old horse. They paid $500 for him in a saddle when I was 9 years old, and that horse was a pill. But he also was the reason that I got into the horsemanship style that I did. And then I just got horse crazy, and my dad does not ride, doesn't know how to ride. My mom quit riding kind of shortly after that. She rode for a couple years. She joined the posse and stuff like that, and then kind of got out of horses. Let's see, there was a good, why do you refer to, oh my gosh, Josie, she just wants scratches. Why do you refer to youngsters as colts, regardless of gender? That's kind of confusing to me as I race thoroughbreds at Santa Anita in Southern California, where colts are juvenile males. Yes,
Yeah.
Colts are juvenile males. Fillies are juvenile females. However, if you've ever heard the term colt starting, that's for all genders, not just males. So, I don't know, in the Western world, you just refer to young horses as colts. Yes, males are also colts. So it's just kind of a way we grew up.
It is kind of confusing.
Yeah. So, colt starting, that kind of thing. It's talking about both colts and fillies. But I guess maybe it's just the Western world. A colt is just a young horse. It also can be a male horse.
Clear as mud. Little baby tail.
This is regards to your pack out with Josie and Rooster in the end. Were you satisfied with the outcome? And if not, what type of training are you thinking of? Yeah, they did great. They hadn't been packed very much, so they did awesome. They, ideally they would just have more experience before we went and did that, but they did really awesome. Someone said they don't do Facebook anymore for that very reason.
It's crazy on
It
there.
is crazy. We didn't have a Facebook for a very long time, but people there's a ton of fake pages, you guys. So we have one Facebook page. It's linked in all of our descriptions. Don't chew on my fence, buddy. And so anyway, our actual Facebook page is linked. I always try to make sure the profile picture is the same as whatever's on our YouTube. We just have one page, but there's probably, last time I checked, at least 5 pages that are called Mountain Built because people have copied us and steal our content all the time, and Facebook doesn't do anything about it, no matter how much reporting is done on it. So that's a little frustrating. But so we made our own Facebook page just so there was at least one that was really us on there, and we hardly ever even go on there because it's pretty crazy.
It's hard enough to keep up on comments on YouTube.
Yes.
Let alone do it on Instagram and Facebook as well. You stinkers.
Hi, Brian. Jessie says her husband says hi. Is Rooster all healed? He's healing. It's going to take probably at least a couple more weeks before we'll start riding him again. Just that bursa takes a long time for that swelling to go down. But he's walking sound and seems to be doing really, really good. So, any new land leads? No, unfortunately. There's a couple places we're looking at and waiting to see if the price drops. We might try to make an offer. Everything is so high, especially like around where we live. Everything is ridiculously high, and I don't really even understand why.
Because it's beautiful here.
Yeah, it is beautiful here, but there's nothing here. I don't really understand. I mean, we like it, but you're not going to run down to a Costco real quick or anything like that.
No. Hey, will you guys let us know on there if you're seeing ads? We turned monetization off during the live, and so hopefully there's no ads interrupting it this time. Hopefully we got that solved. Good girl.
I'm not, and I'm skipping over everyone who says Merry Christmas. Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas to all of you. I've been skipping over those, but we really appreciate it.
See if we can get her to back nice and soft. You ready?
Josie, can you back soft?
Ready? Watch. Nice and soft. Uh-oh, she's not paying attention.
Someone says, can you get your mules to lunge on a line as well as your filly? Yeah, we want all of them to do that. I don't really call that lunging. It's more of a centered circle. We're working on softness and bending through the rib cage more than just lunging them in a circle. I always think of lunging as more like just running them in a circle. That's not always the case, but yeah, we do all the same groundwork with our mules as we do with the horses.
We're a little rusty. Okay, see if we can do it better this time. Ready? Nope. Wake up, pal.
She's like, it's nap time.
Yeah. It's really nice to have your horses and mules, especially if you pack a little bit, back up by just kind of jiggling the rope a little bit, get to that foot.
Because, yeah, you might be a ways away from them and you need them to back and you can't, like, walk over to them and back them. So that's really handy. Also, one interesting fact about mules is, like, the tail swishing. Horses, that usually means, like, they're unhappy. But mules, they'll swish their tail just when they're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't mean they're unhappy. Like, you see mules swish their tail a lot more than horses, but a lot of times it's just because they're thinking on things, and that's like one of the things they do when they're thinking. It's pretty interesting.
And mules love their ears scratched.
We had someone call Taz a pony on one of our shorts because he was standing downhill. They're like, that guy's too big for that pony. We're like, he's 16'1". I think he's fine.
Yeah, I think he is fine. I could barely reach the stirrup. Good girl. All right. Does anyone have any questions before we go?
Yeah, I'm falling behind.
Oh, you're falling behind on
Do
questions?
you like mares or geldings, and why?
I actually like females, like mollies and mares. And the reason that I do is just because I feel like they're kind of gritty. And they're not quite as goofy either. Like,
yeah, they're
Johns
more like,
and geldings are always being screwballs, it seems like, compared to the mares and mollies. And so that's what I like. What about you, Alyssa?
yeah. I mean, geldings seem to be more even-keeled, but they aren't as gritty. I found like most of my geldings are actually really sensitive. Like, you could be a little too hard on them and hurt their feelings a little bit. They are also goofballs. Like, as far as chewing on stuff and just messing around, they're always up to something, where it seems like the mollies and the mares are more like down to business. Like, once you're doing a job, they're like no messing around, and Clyde is always messing around. So that's the thing I found. It does seem like mares, when you like get that bond with them, they're really gritty.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Linda. We got a $10 gift from Linda.
Thanks, Linda. Merry
That's
Christmas.
super nice. Josie says, buy me treats. Someone says, why not a foal? A foal would be like a baby horse.
So, like, from the BLM facility, or do they mean
I think they mean like the term, because we're talking about colts and fillies.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, a colt, like if you were saying colt starting, that would be like, you know, a 2-3-year-old horse. A foal would be like a baby.
Of either gender. You might have already said that.
Yeah, someone said, so I grew up with fillies, colts, and stud colts. We didn't call them foals, just colts.
Interesting. Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. Like colt starting is just a
Don't.
term people use for all young horses.
And what's real confusing is if you go to some of the mule
Yes.
sales, they'll say a horse mule for a male mule. They'll
Yeah.
call it a horse mule, but all mules are half horse. So it's kind of talk about confusing.
They'll say a mare mule and a horse mule. Why
Yep.
they say a mare mule and a gelding mule, I don't know. So a mare mule is what they call a molly mule. That's the correct term. That is a female mule. Don't know why they call them mare mules. Maybe it's an East Coast thing. And then a horse mule is a John mule,
Yep.
which would be a male mule. So there's just weird things like that. It just depends on where you're from, kind of your background. Some of it is, I think, just, passed down. But yeah, that's always confusing. Horse mule and a mare mule. You're like, what is a horse mule?
Josie likes her little tail scratched. On Joe's.
Someone says Facebook can be a very nasty platform. It really can. It's pretty crazy.
We try to spread positivity
Yeah.
everywhere. It's just you gotta
Life's
get
too
through.
short to bully people online.
Yeah.
No ads. Yay.
Yay.
I'm
Good.
finally getting to the section where they're answering you. I'm so behind.
That's crazy. That's quite a lag. That's
Well,
interesting.
no, it's me lagging.
Oh, you're
I'm scrolling.
You're lagging.
I'm the lagging one. I'm still on dial-up, I think. Someone says your mountain views are beautiful. Who cares about Costco? They have
Exactly.
delivery, Yeah, we use it sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope you don't want to go to any big towns because we're about 3 hours away from anything like that. Oh my goodness, Taz, you're going to step on my foot, buddy. You're so close.
Switch. Good girl. Let's live on Taz for a minute.
Sometimes I have seen people riding in a Cooper or a Britchen. How does one determine which one to be used?
I rode in a Cooper with Riata for the first couple years I had her. And that's fine as long as you're not in super thick stuff or steep stuff. Sorry, I was thinking about Josie. Yeah, but if you're in super steep stuff, it's a little bit nicer for them to have a Britchen is kind of what I've learned. They can get their butt kind of underneath them. It doesn't pull on that little tailbone. Coopers aren't as bad as a lot of people think. They're like, oh, it's going to pull on their tailbone, but it's more right up against their butt cheeks at the base of that tailbone. And so Coopers aren't that bad, but I think Britchens are just a little more comfortable for them in real steep stuff.
Yeah, if you're going to arena ride and stuff, Coopers are totally fine.
Yeah, you don't need either if you're in an arena.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
breath
it's on
collar.
some mules.
Yeah.
I have seen mules that have went to bucking with nothing on in a flat arena and slipped the saddle clear over their head.
Yeah, if they're bucking, yeah.
Is Taz done growing? Yep, Taz is totally done growing.
Thank
He's
God.
a 7-year-old, so he's fully mature.
What did people
Yeah.
say? I never heard of which equine of ours got the most votes. It's usually Rooster.
There was a bunch of different ones.
It was hard to keep track.
It was. I couldn't keep track in my head.
Oh, look out, buddy.
Tim Humphrey asks, is that why having a mare in the mountain trips is a good idea? Yeah. So for mules, a mare. Well, they are a little bit less goofy, but also for mules, a mare is their mama. I mean, same with the horse, but so mules tend to be more drawn to a mare horse. Not always. They can really buddy up with the gelding too. All of ours love Rooster. They
Yeah.
also love Mesa though.
Yeah.
And Rooster loves Mesa. So in that case, you could
Everybody loves that.
let all of them go in theory and have maybe Mesa either highlined or hobbled. And as long as Mesa stayed around, all the others would hang out with Mesa would be the thinking on that. A lot of people don't want their animals herd bound, but when you have an outfitting string, you actually want your mules herd bound to your horse because then they'll stick around camp.
Yep. Yep.
Terminology is so silly. It does vary just depending.
When we did that pack trip in Wyoming, we had to highline all of ours at night, but it would be so much nicer, especially if you're doing a lot of rough, traveling in rough country and your horses are burning calories, to be able to just leave one tied up and let the others eat all night.
It says, Taz cuddly at all. He
Taz
definitely-
what?
Is Taz cuddly at all?
Let's see.
Taz is
Ready?
very sweet. He's a little bit more like stoic than some of them, but he does have moments where he's very sweet. I think he really does still like people a lot. So, and the lady we got him from is just all about snuggling her horses, so that's awesome.
Yep.
Hopefully they're having a good Christmas. Josie. Hi,
Super
Merry
close
Christmas
up.
from Josie. Oh my gosh.
One thing about Tazzy, he gets an itchy face, and so he has to be in the right frame of mind to kind of snuggle him and be close to his head.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
because
he
he'll
tries
knock
to
you down.
scratch on you, and big old noggin, you know. So
He's not gentle about it.
yeah, we can't have that. But when he's in the right frame of mind, it's nice because you can snuggle his head.
Is there a horse breed that produces the best mule with a jack?
Oh, that's a good.
Yeah,
That's gonna
that
vary a lot depending on
really
who you
varies.
ask.
Who you ask, what they're using them for. For us, we really like quarter horse mules, draft mules, and my friend bred her Mustang mare to a mammoth jack and got a awesome little mule baby, and I'm really excited for that. That's gonna be a cool little mountain animal.
I think probably the best mare to be a mule mama is like Lydia did with the Mustang, or maybe an Appaloosa mare. They're just kind of, at least for our kind of riding, they're built for the mountains. They're sturdy, hardy, and tough. And mules are tough anyway, but you give them a good mare for a mama, and they're just awesome mountain animals. Like butt scratches, buddy? Chuck that over there.
So I'll mention the ads on YouTube. Yeah, most of our videos have ads if you don't have premium, but we just shut them off for this live so that the
Okay.
ads weren't.
So they weren't saying they're seeing ads, they were just asking about ads.
Yeah, they
Okay.
asked. They said we probably shouldn't shut off ads to our videos, but we're just
Yes.
shutting it off on the live while it's live, and then we'll turn it on afterwards. So there'll be ads on this if you're watching after it's done. But they were interrupting the live feed, and that seems annoying.
Yeah. How YouTube works is we actually get paid based on 1,000 views. So every 1,000 views, YouTube pays us a certain amount, and it varies depending on season and video length and stuff. But we get paid based on views. So the more people watch, the more we make.
This is actually a comment that just came in as a notification, but they said, I got a hoodie that says your channel name, which is a little bit disappointing because that wasn't from us. So just so you guys know, like, unless it's from our website,
Yeah.
you're paying someone else to steal our brand. So, I mean,
Maybe they had it made custom. They just are big fans. And
Maybe.
that would be cool. But
that would be fine.
hopefully no one's selling them. That would be messed up.
Yeah, there's no way for us to really guard against that. Like, you know, we have, what is that? It's not a patent. Trademark
Yeah.
for our
It's
mountain built
being
name.
processed, but yeah.
But people still steal it, which is
But if you're just making it for yourself, then that's awesome. And
yeah.
thanks
But
for
if you see
repping.
them for sale elsewhere, just know
Yeah.
that money does not come to us. And yeah,
That's one thing we'd really, if anyone's watching this and knows a good merchandise place, we would love to sell some stuff. Alyssa is so artistic in designing t-shirts and hoodies and stuff, is like right up her alley. But we haven't found a place that is reliable as far as quality control and shipping times to actually do the shipping for us and the printing, because we're gone so much we can't do
Yeah.
it ourselves. So if anyone knows any good companies to do merchandise, Alyssa would love to design some stuff. That'd be really fun.
Got a comment that says, new here, what color, pattern, or breed is that spotted mule there?
She's
So,
an Appy.
Yep. Her mom was a
Don't
Appaloosa,
stink her.
and her dad is a dun. This is what Josie does when she wants attention. It's very naughty.
It's
She does
cute
it
at
gently,
first.
but she just is like, pay attention to me.
It will become a problem if you just
Yeah,
let
so
her
we don't
do
let
it.
her do that, even though it's kind of funny. I would call her a leopard appy, that coat pattern.
Yep.
But
Call
yeah,
her
her mom was an
awesome.
Appaloosa. Hi,
Oh,
Josie.
Awesome. Huh, Taz?
You're so silly. People are asking when we're going to have more hunts out on our other channel.
man.
So all of you that are here for the horses, don't worry, there won't be any on this channel. We split our channels. So we have another channel now that has all of our hunting content. But we are actually going to have all those hunts coming out this coming, probably starting late summer through next hunting season. So we're getting a year ahead on that. It'll be a lot easier for us. And we have, I think, 10
Yep. That's what I was just
coming
gonna
out.
say.
So yeah, stay tuned.
Yep. We this year we just absolutely got the speed wobbles with working for TS Mules and trying to keep our thing ramped up here on the main channel. And so editing those was kind of out of the question this year.
Yeah, just too
Hopefully we
much.
can make time early 2026 to edit those and have them lined out for this next fall. So we had some fun adventures with family and then backpacking, just the two of us. It was a great year. Can you back up good?
So what is that stick with the flag called? Back scratcher.
Back up, buddy. Get to the feet.
Yep, it's just called a horsemanship flag. It'd be like some people
There you
use a
go.
stick and string, but we like the flag better.
Yeah.
What kind of property do we want? One with
Big.
mountain views, preferably a creek
Back up.
or a spring on it. Some irrigation would be awesome.
Oh,
Or if it's
buddy.
in the right place in the country where it grows natural grass, that'd be totally fine.
Yeah.
Then we wouldn't need irrigation.
The main thing is we've outgrown the size of this one. We love this property. It's beautiful. We put a lot of work into it, but we've kind of outgrown it.
All right, ma'am. Don't be pushy. Someone else asked, do we like mares or geldings? We actually just answered that earlier. If you want to go back and watch.
Good question, though. And the
just
short
depends.
answer is I like mares and mollies.
Yeah, they're more serious. Huh, Josie, you're super serious, as people can tell.
I wanted,
Yeah.
way serious. She's not goofy at all. I
So-
wanted to say something real quick. We got Taz, and he came from a super loving home. But anytime you get a new horse, that horse has to adjust to your training style.
Yes.
So, like, I was just trying to back him up, and he was paying attention to me, but he didn't know what I was asking because his old owners backed him up a different way. So, like we talked about, we want ours to back up like that. And he's like, I don't know. And so you get a little firmer and firmer, and he's searching for it. There you go,
Yeah,
got
good
to the
job.
feet. So then you start with that and build on it. So that's why, like, you can see you got to kind of firm up to actually get what you're looking for. And that's just because he's learning us just like we're learning him. So
Yeah, and people have asked, well, why don't we learn the way he was trained? But you would have to remember it's so different. People ride so differently.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that's just part of getting a new horse. And you just be patient with them while they're learning that because you understand that it's all new for them.
it's asking a lot of them.
It is.
It's really a big deal for them.
Ma'am, you're a pest right now. Good thing you're cute. Hi.
I'm a superstar.
Don't do that. Someone asked if I'm finished with taxidermy. Tim Humphrey. Almost. It's getting there. It's been long and drawn out. There's a lot of moving parts with that. People have to know what they want, have to pay a deposit, all that good stuff. So some people I've been waiting on for a really long time, and I'm trying to finish them up now. So
Good boy, bud. Got anything else there, MC?
yeah, there's
MC
more.
Hammer?
Have you ever bred your own mule?
We would love to do that.
We might in the future.
Yeah. That was like
Yeah.
when we got Mesa, we kept that in mind. Like,
Tim Humphrey just asked, would you be interested in having Mesa full of mule?
she would
So,
be a
yeah.
great one because she's really level-headed. She's big and stout, and she's bred for the mountains from an outfitting family. And so she would be a great mule mama. The hard part is she's going to be going good, and we'll be riding her, and it'd be hard to give her that year off to be a mule mama. But she would be a really good fit for it. Your finger's not in front of the thing, is it?
No, I don't think so. Not that I can see.
Your left finger.
Oh, no,
There it is.
it's not.
Different lens.
Someone asked, could we use guardian dogs when you take the mules and horses out to guard them overnight? People are really concerned about predators bugging the horses up in the mountains. Like, they're so worried about when the horses are on hobbles. One, we're always watching them when they're hobbled. So, like, if anything came in to mess with them, we would be there to protect them. But two, like, if you have stock up in grizzly country, you're less likely to get messed with grizzlies. Like, a lot of those animals are more spooked about your stock. Like, that's part of the reasons Mustangs are overpopulated. It's because they really don't have too many natural predators. You know, there might be some weird thing where maybe a mountain lion or something would like come in and mess with them, but it would be so rare. Yeah, that would be so rare. It would be very surprising. So, you know, you've got human scent all over the place and stuff. So it's not something that happens.
Switch.
This person says, Alyssa, we have enjoyed watching your journey with Rooster. What is something about working with a Mustang that surprised you the most? how just similar it was to everything else I work with, honestly. I just went in with the same approach I would with like a abused mule or horse or one that hadn't been handled very much, and it's all kind of the same, which shouldn't have surprised me. Like, I don't know, we deal with mules the same way we do with horses. It's just all reading body language and trying to be patient with them and understanding.
I know no one asked me, but what surprised
Come
me...
get this spotted mule so I can read these. She's just bumping
Get her
me.
out of here. One thing that surprised me watching Alyssa work with Rooster was how similar Rooster was in the way he thinks, like, to the mules. Like, you can really see him think things through, and I think that's a trait that's pretty common with Mustangs, but it was really fun to watch. Like, less reactive and more thoughtful than I thought he would be.
Someone asked, what is Ty Evans best known for? I think he's probably best known for always being super positive. You know, he has a saying, it's the best day ever, and he has that mindset all the time. So if you want to come learn from someone who is just like legitimately a very positive person, he's your guy. He's also, like, he helps so many people with their mules and some real serious problems with their mules too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a really good teacher. He's really patient. He does a good job explaining stuff. We've learned a ton from him. And yeah, it's helpful because he's, you know, he's never, I don't want to say he's never grumpy. I'm sure, you know, his wife would probably say otherwise, but when he's teaching clinics, like, that's what he loves to do. And so he's always really happy to help. So yeah, he's awesome to learn from. And
he's best known for mules, but he also loves having horses at his clinic. We'll be taking horses this year. We'll take Taz and Rooster and Mesa. They'll all go. So bring your horses and see us there. He's
kind of catered to the mule world because the mule world needed someone teaching that style of horsemanship to mules.
Yeah.
But I mean, this all works for horses and donkeys. Like, it's all the same thing. Said, I really loved your cattle drive video. Can you do more like that? We would love to do more like that. That was fun helping them out. I was impressed with our mules, how well they did with all those cars whizzing by. That was a lot, and they just handled it all in stride. Said, I used to watch Pirelli, Buck Brannaman, Cameron, McNabb, all those others, similar to those clinicians. I would say Buck Brannaman the most, probably out of those. I mean, like Pat Pirelli and Buck Brannaman, they all, and I don't know about if Craig Cameron and those other guys, hey Tazers, learned from Ray Hunt, but a lot of those guys learned from Ray Hunt and Tom Dorrance, so they all have a similar style to them. Pirelli kind of went off on a different sort of a tangent, I guess, from there, but Buck stayed real true to Ray Hunt. So
one thing that, speaking of Tom Dorrance, one of my favorite quotes about horsemanship and mulemanship is, he said that you have to treat a mule the way that you should treat your horse. And I think that absolutely rings true.
Someone said you could give him the new cue first, then the old one. That's just not really the style. Like that, I think that would just kind of get confusing for them.
That's a good thought, though. Like,
yeah,
give them something that they are familiar with first, but that would get kind of muddied up if it just, like, because you need to be able to time your release with exactly when they start doing, like, what you're asking them to do.
Yeah, so if you released when you're doing the old school method, they would go, oh, that was the answer.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't learn the new method. So it could get very confusing for them, because then the next time they might release on the new method and they would be like, oh, wait, that's the answer. So, yeah.
That's a good thought, though. Because, yeah, it's awesome to think out of the box and figure out how to help make it as easy as you can for your horse.
Hopefully it's not getting too windy for you guys. The wind kind of kicked up.
Yeah,
Have either of you had injuries when working with horses or mules?
We both have.
You want to go
first?
I had a mare. I was riding her along a very busy road. I had a mare that spooked at some llamas. She spun and slid down an embankment with me and got up in a real muddy field, and that stressed her out because her feet were getting suctioned. And she ran and jumped over kind of a woven wire fence like that. Tried to jump it. I tried to one rein stop her away from the road. There was a road over here. Pretend there's a road. So I one rein stopped her away from that, and she jumped the fence, only she hit it right there at about chest height and flipped herself right on top of me and shattered my wrist. So had to have surgery and stuff like that. Thankfully she was fine. But I actually landed in a paramedic's driveway, and he came running out and thought I had for sure broke my neck, so he made me sit there. and then called my mom and stressed her out. So yeah, that's probably the worst one. I've had others, but nothing as serious as that, thankfully.
What a lucky day. You just landed in a paramedic's driveway.
I did.
Mine was, I'll keep it short. It was kind of gross. I had a horse. We had ticks in Western Oregon where I had my horse. And so she would like kick at them on her belly, but they were really bothering her. So she would kick with her back foot and then hit the ground really hard. And it hit my big toenail out towards the end, and it popped the toenail out right at the cuticle. So it just popped that toenail right out. And it just filled my sock and boot with blood, and had to go in and get all kinds of crazy antibiotics because technically it was a compound fracture even though it was just my toe, but since it was broken and then the skin was open, they had to give me all kinds of medication and a big old shot right in the toe to numb it. So that was gnarly.
So watch your toes.
That was just a
as
little
Josie's literally
stinker.
she's like this, let me stomp you.
She did this,
She did this, stomp.
but much harder and faster.
Someone asked, how big is a round pen and how many panels did you use? It is a 60 footer. And we didn't use panels. We just used, actually we had a bunch of these rails left over from our buck and rail fence. So we used those, kind of repurposed those, which made it awesome. It's about 6'6", 6'7" tall. Turned out to be really tall.
And it's basically 13 sections if you include the gate here, 13 sections around.
What's better about a mule compared to a horse? You can scratch their ears like that. Do you want to demonstrate?
Yeah. Here,
Horses don't normally do this. Some do. Oh, Josie.
Too much.
There he goes. See this little eyelid twitch? That's the best part about mules versus horses. No. They're really sure-footed. They really are very sure-footed. I feel like they can definitely like bolt and buck and all of that, but I feel like if a horse bolts versus the mule, it's much shorter before they turn and go, okay, let's think about this.
And also the hybrid vigor thing, there's something to that for sure. They're just a little bit hardier in general than your average horse.
Someone says they lost their toenail 5 times. That's crazy.
Oh gosh, what are they, a marathon runner?
Yeah, you must run a lot. I lost mine once from trail running, but that was it. That was super painful. Went until it finally fell off. I guess you can poke them with a needle or something. I should have done that.
Yeah, to relieve the pressure.
They said they love the way I work and talk with my horses. Yeah, sorry if I ramble on. A lot of times when people are like, I can't hear Alyssa, I'm like, don't worry, it's just nonsense. I'm just talking to my horse.
She's going,
you guys don't need to know what I'm saying anyway. It's probably just, oh, you're so pretty or something,
I wish we could go grab the others and show you all the rest of the herd, but it gets super laggy when we walk around the property.
It does, so we decided just to stay in one spot.
I didn't know we were going to be on this long.
I didn't either.
We're kind of...
My fingers are freezing. Someone asked if they know, how did I know where to start training Rooster? Well, it's just a lot of experience. Like, I've worked with a lot of different horses and mules over the years, and I've just kind of built a feeling for what each one needs. I'm not always right by any means, but it gives me a good starting point. Do we trim our own horses and mules' feet? Yes, we do, because it's really hard to find a farrier out here. A lot of farriers do not want to work on mules. They've had bad experiences with mules. Ours are good, and we've never had anyone complain about our mules, but we have a really hard time finding a farrier that's willing to even try.
Oh gosh, take that.
Yeah, thanks, Taz. Don't be pushy. Were you spooking?
No.
Right into me? Just being...
He was just like, what's up, Mom?
What's up? Oh, I got my finger stuck in a saddle. Horse spooked, ripped off my fingernail. Ouch.
Yikes. At least it was only the nail and not the whole thing.
Oh, hi, Taz. Someone asked if he was cuddly. Sometimes. He's being overly cuddly right now. Look how tall he is. Like, I'm 6 foot, and I'm, like, looking up at him. He's so big. Well, I think we'll head off of here.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks
Merry
for joining.
Christmas.
Thanks for joining in the whole journey. We appreciate you guys. It's fun to share our life with you.
It is.
Don't stinker.
All right. Well, I hope everyone has a great Christmas and you all eat some good pie and some good food.
Say Merry Christmas.
And I'm gonna have to have Jason show me how to end this.
Hit the X maybe?
Here?
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everyone.